Good morning and welcome to episode 2 from the Ginger Project. Today we are going to be working on single crochet. So we're just going to jump right in. I got my yarn right here, got it pulled off to the side. I got my little bit of working yarn pulled out here, so I'm not fighting with it too much. So we're just going to go over real quick one more time how to do a slip knot. So we got our working yarn on your left side, and you got your, excuse my terrible nails, and you got your tail over here. So you're gonna take your right side and go under your left side, and then you got that little crisscross right there, and you're just gonna pinch it. You're gonna go in through the top, pull it through, let go, and then cinch it up, and then there's your slip knot. So we are going to chain 10. So let's go ahead and do that. And if you don't know how to chain, go ahead and run back to episode 1 and learn how to do some chains, practice that, and then come back and work with us. So let's start with 10 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're just going to count those real quick. Got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then don't forget, we have to do that special turning chain. So at the very beginning, you always want to chain 1 extra. So we're going to chain 1 more. Oops, because that is going to be our turning chain. And then now we're gonna flip it over, and then we're gonna look for our little bumps on the back. So we're gonna, excuse me, we're gonna skip this one, and then this one looks kind of funky, but we'll be able to figure it out. Actually, no, I'm gonna back it up. Hold on, that looks terrible. I took out 2, so I gotta add 2. 1, 2. That still looks really bad. Hold on. Okay, so I redid that and it looks much better. So we have 11 chains on our hook. We're gonna skip this one. We're gonna flip over, and then we're gonna go into the second chain from your hook. And you're gonna see that a lot in patterns. It's gonna say that because it doesn't want you to go into the first one because that's our turning chain. It's trying to help you get to that second one. So this one's 1 and that one's 2. So we're going to do a second from our chain into the hump. We're going to yarn over, pull through. Now we have 1, 2 on our hook. I'll try to get a little bit closer for you. And then yarn over, pull through both. And that is a single crochet. So we'll go into the hump. We will yarn over, pull through. Make sure you have 2 loops on your hook. That is very important. And then yarn over and pull through. So you can kind of see that we're having little tiny single crochet stitches, and then we're gonna go into the hump, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2. Go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, 1, 2, yarn over, pull through 2. And you can see that we are starting to get single crochet stitches right here. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. So now let's just get all the way across and get to our 10th one. Into the hump, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. Into the hump, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Into the hump, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. That last one is always just waiting for you to come to the finishing line. All right. So the thing with single crochet stitches is they're gonna curl a lot. They do that. It's totally normal. Don't freak out. Once you get to a certain length, it'll flatten out. So don't worry about that. So let's count our stitches real quick. I'm trying to hold it so you can see. That should be good. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then your turning chain is this little guy right here. So now we're going to chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. So this is now the back side. This is your front side because it's pretty, and this is your back side. So now we are going to single crochet into the first stitch. A stitch is something that you've already done. A chain is something that's not connected. So you're going to go into your first stitch, which is right here, and you go under those 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. You see how that's our turning chain? Just makes that little bump at the end, just like in our last episode. And then we'll go through both again, yarn over, pull through 2. I'm just gonna pull a little bit out of here so I have something to work with. And then we're just gonna go all the way to the end. Make sure you get through both of those front and back loops, and we will learn about that a little bit later. You just want to make sure you're getting both of them so it's nice and even. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And sometimes this end might not look as pretty in the beginning. I'm also crocheting super loose so you guys can see it as well. So it may look a little bit different from yours. That is fine. So let's do one more row. We're going to chain 1 because we're turning, and then we're going to go into our first stitch. So you're going to go into both, pull through 2. So let's say, I'm going to do a couple, that you accidentally miss one when you're going through both of these and you accidentally only go through the front one. That means you're doing front loop only, and that creates ridges on the back side that can create texture when you're working on a pattern. So some patterns will say front loop only, single crochet 10 stitches. So you would go across all 10 of these in just the front loop. Or some of them say back loop only, so you'll be going through the back one and it'll create, here let me do a couple, a ridge on the front that creates some texture. And you can mess around with these as much as you want to kind of see the texture. So you can see this one's flat and smooth with the rest of your work, and this one has a little ridge in the front right there. And this is really nice if you wanted to attach something in the front. You have a nice little loop there already. But you don't have to. It's not urgent. Also, if you don't know whether you're on the front or the back side of your work, always look where your tail is. Your tail should always be on the front left side of your work. That's how you know that you're facing the front. If you're looking at this side, it's on the other side. So this is your back side. It's also not as pretty. That will help you a lot when you learn how to do like a corner to corner crochet, because you go up in a diagonal. But yeah, go ahead and practice this for a while, and let me show you a couple. Okay, I already did the back loop. So if you do a couple front loop, see, now it looks like it's smooth, but you got a ridge on the back now. And then I'll just go to the end, and anytime you want to finish off a project, we didn't really discuss this yesterday, you want to do a slip knot or a slip stitch. No, slip knot. So slip stitch is if you wanted to go across the top and do like a nice finishing snug. See how these are all loose? If I were to turn and then I just want to do a nice even finish on the top, I would do a row of slip stitches. And that means that instead of pulling through 2, you are taking this loop and pulling through that loop. So these are slip stitches. And a lot of people accidentally mix slip stitches and single crochets because they are so close to being the same. So let's just get to the end here. One more. See how mine curled up a little? Just gotta tug on it. And then, so that is a beautiful finishing end right there. So if I were to be done, I have my handy dandy daughter's scissors. I'm just gonna cut a little bit. So I have some to work with, and I gotta be able to weave it in as well. And then you're just gonna pull it all the way through and then tighten it. And you're done. So obviously this is not going to be the end of a project, but that's how you finish one. You just want to pull it tight like that, and then you're gonna use a weaving needle, or you can even use a crochet hook that's way smaller than the one that you're using to weave it into your work. And then I usually make it really tight and then I pull on it so it's a little bit looser. That way when it goes through the laundry, it's not getting pulled out. So that's it for today's lesson. Really short, really simple. But yeah, that is single crochet. So come back for episode 3, which we will be working on double crochet.